Hello, everybody. The name is Leveler Jr., and I am here with someone who I have been waiting almost 7 years to see live and speak to. That is Mr. Tanner C, aka Dack Janiels. Yes, like Jack Daniels, but just those top two letters reversed together, and you get Dack Janiels, a man who has been grinding and working on his project, being a part of the EDM industry ever since 2014, if I'm not mistaken. That was around, like, I think March 2014. That was the first song you ever released on SoundCloud.
Yep.
And after that, the rest was pretty much history.
Nailed it.
Let me also get this out of the way too. Forgive me for being a bit too late to say this, but happy 10-year anniversary to 40 Ounce Colts. The first ever IG post was ever on January 22nd, 2015, and after 11 years, I guess nothing has changed but how huge the brand has become. I have to tell you, congratulations, and I'm just so proud of you and Wednesday for building this thing and creating this thing. It is something to behold, and I'm just very proud
Thank
of you.
you. I didn't even realize it's been 10 years since the first 40 ounce post. We always consider it to be more so around the 6 to 7 year mark because that's when we launched the label.
Mm-hmm.
But since we started out as a clothing jewelry brand.
At first.
Yeah, but yeah, you're right. It's crazy to think about. 40 ounce has technically been around for 10 years now. Dack Janiels has been around, my first release, since 2014. That's crazy, man. You came out with the research right off the rip.
Thank you. I have to make sure I show more respect to, of course, the collective, the label, because that's, like, I believe is one of your biggest, like, achievements so far in your career. So I had to give some love to that. And it kind of begs the question. I know you get this question quite a bit, and I already have some of the answers, but let's hear it from the horse's mouth. What made you want to start 40 Ounce Cult and, like, make something brand new to bring to the EDM community, to the EDM industry? Because it seems the only thing that you say, like, really stuck out to you was obviously the merchandise. Like, no one was selling skateboard stuff. No one was selling the type of things. No one was selling rings that has 40 ounce on it. So how did this whole thing, like, begin?
I think the biggest thing with 40 ounce for me was that I came up skateboarding first and foremost, and that culture has influenced me so much, down to even the music, not just the music, but down to, like, the clothes. I wear the same thing that I've worn since I was like 12 years old. You know?
So this would be like in these clothes here, you would not mind if the weather was good enough. Go outside and just skate around if you can find the park.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, 40 ounce to me has always been an embodiment of the culture. I grew up skateboarding in San Francisco. We would go skate, and all of us would have a couple $1 bills in our pocket, and after a sesh, you go to the liquor store
and buy a 40 ounce.
For
$1.50.
For $1.50. Well, the old E tall can the old E 40 ounce used to be 99 cents. I'll never forget. Maybe $1 and some change with tax, but I at the time when I started with EDM, it was, the peak of big room house, nightclub bottle service culture, and it turned me off so much from the rest of the industry. Not in a way that I didn't dislike my peers, but it was in a way that I did not feel that I had any relation to them, because that's just not really my vibe.
Was it kind of like a clique thing, whereas, like, you would, like, go to a nightclub, and of course you would look and see, like, that section being barred off with the tables, with the bottles and all that stuff, and, like, they're acting all high and bougie, that type of thing. I believe me, so I feel the same way. It's like, for someone like me, I don't drink, so it's like, why would I even bother being at that table?
So the 40 ounce to me is a symbol. And it's a symbol of those roots to me. And not only that, it's always reminds me of where I came from. And the cult aspect of it is that cults often, it's like pagan worship. You worship an idol of some kind. So I created the name because off the rip, on my head, I was like, what if the whole idea and premise of the brand would be the 40 ounce is the central figure. It's not Dack Janiels Records. It's not this or that. It's the 40 ounce is that, and that's what we look out for in artists, and with the clothing we make, at the price point we make it, we want it to be accessible. And, more often than not, I tell people, it's like, dude, like, if people drop me a message of support, or they say, yo, man, I want to send you some music, whatever, a lot of the time, man, I'm pretty easy to reach in that aspect. Obviously, I can't get back to every demo email submission.
Right.
But again, if someone formats their email with respect and correctly, and they come, and they come from a place of being genuine, I think that that's the other thing with 40 ounce that I really, really love to embody is that idea of always holding it down for my fellow peeps. I don't think of myself as, even though I've DJed for this long and I'll play this event, this or that, I always say, like one of my buddies who runs a company that we've collabed with called Happy Hour Shades, my buddy Flip has this quote, and he says, "It's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice," and I like to live by that creed.
Right, and that is something that most definitely stands out from the crowd, especially when you add the word cult in your, in your company, because I doubt they're really, dare I say, nice, or just a manipulative nice, and this is definitely no children of God. But yes, thank you so much for the work you're doing for 40 ounce, and I have to also mention this as well, something I bet no cult would ever think of doing, giving away their merchandise to help out a tragedy. What happened in LA recently was something that was pretty unexpected. The fires were raging, but 40 ounce was one of those companies that stepped up and decided to try and give something back to the community, and that, I have to say, is highly admirable. I am very proud of you and Wednesday, build that up and just giving back and helping the people out. That was something that I had to say congratulations. That I'm so proud of you.
No, it's not. Thank you so much. It's not even a congrats thing. I think for us, it was my sister actually very elegantly said something. During the time of the fires, a lot of people were displaced, left their house, could have been burned down with their clothes on their back. And my sister made a post because a lot of companies and organizations were getting so many donations of ratty old clothing, unwashed, stuff that would have been donation. And look, donation in itself is not a bad thing. But in a time of crisis like that, I think that when my sister said, make sure that you aren't using this as a way to just clean out your closet and let people be able to recover with dignity.
Right.
And I looked over, I just moved, and I moved out of my old studio. Now, essentially, everything's at my new house. And I have all these boxes of merch that I've been sitting at, looking at, and it's stuff from live shows and festivals and stuff, but it's all brand new merch that I've size organized. And I looked over at it, and I was like, I may as well just go take these boxes that have been sitting in my living room and go drop them off at the donation site for direct relief, because they're literally bringing to the people who have nothing right now and have just left a disaster area. So I was really, really fortunate to be able to have that many units. I think we donated something around 75 brand new tees and hoodies. And again, it's just, when my sister wrote it like that, it really struck with me, because not everyone in those situations it's not people looking for handouts. It's people who literally lost everything. The craziest part is very fortunately my place I'm living is intact and stuff, but I literally left dropping off that donation, got home, and then had to evacuate from my place because of the Hollywood fire. And it's just crazy because I'm very, very fortunate that I am safe and nothing happened, and but at the end of the day, I would not have wanted the merch to go to anywhere other than that in that moment, So I think that it ended up working out really, really nicely, and I'm really happy for people to wear the clothes, and hopefully it all went to a good home.
Okay, guys, we had to do a bit of a quick pause because Dack Janiels had to leave to get someone, and I just want to quickly put this in right here, right now. This is someone who I have been listening to for years. You may know him from being a part of the House of Thousand Corpse album, working with Sullivan King with the song Break the Rail. You might have heard his work before when he collaborated with Dack Janiels, and most importantly, you may have seen him all across the EDM industry, and needless to say, he has worked with Jaws. He was part of the Bite This Records with the songs like Super Hot and Turn Up the Bay. This is someone who has inspired me and who has brought so much joy in my heart for years to come. And for him to show up oh so suddenly is something I did not think would ever happen. I'm almost speechless right now. You guys are about to meet him. Welcome to the freaking stage, Dubloadz, Dave, and How are you, man?
Doing well. Doing well. How about yourself?
I
You
am
seem very happy.
very happy. I'm just trying my best to be a professional, but sometimes it gets a bit difficult when you have a legend who you've been listening to for over 7 years in your presence. This is the man I've been listening to ever since the House of 1,000 Corpses, that particular album. And of course, thank you, Sullivan King, for introducing me to him with Break the Rail. We'll never forget that song. And of course, I had this kind of segues into the question I want to ask. I was kind of saving this for like the best for last, but you know what? You're here. Why the freak not? The collaborations we had between this man and Dack Janiels, not only with the Necro Medium EP, but also the House of 1,000. The House of Ghost EP, where you have the song.
You said House of 1,000 Corpses before.
Yeah, already I was like, no, it's the House of Ghosts. It had the word house.
I wish I could say that I made House of 1,000 Corpses. It'd be much richer.
Right.
Well, Figure and I put out a song called House of 1,000 Corpses.
They did. They did.
I think
so that's already been taken. But the House of Ghosts EP, which is where I really saw the true power and prowess of Dubloadz and Dack Janiels.
The power of the Shmo.
Yes, the power of the Shmo. Holy Shmo, Killer Instinct, and of course shout out to Sean.
Killer Instinct is such a banger. When you posted the thing today, I think you put Killer Instinct as the
I
was like, oh my god, this song is so good.
He was like, please tell me you're gonna play it. And I was like,
it?
yeah, I'm gonna play it.
Yes, I've been waiting. So if you guys didn't know, the songs of Holy Shmo and Killer Instincts, those were songs that when I first heard them when they first came out, I was all over, and I just could not resist, showing my love for those particular songs. And I said to myself, if they said possibly, it could be possible we could play that song and we can just rock it on stage when that song plays. I have been studying that song over and over again for the past 6 years, making sure it was ready for that moment, and hopefully that moment is tonight.
You get to hear the Holy Shmo VIP tonight.
And the Holy Shmo VIP. Oh man, the VIP. I only know the original from the beginning to end, but now it's the VIP.
The VIP is a whole new level of sauce.
Oh god. Is there a
Shmo.
Killer Instinct VIP?
No.
Okay, good. At least I'm ready for that.
There should be one.
At least I'm ready for that. But bottom line, I have to ask, how did you guys meet and what made you guys create such magic together? Not only with that EP, but also, I forgot to give my love to Blue Bomber. That's also an amazing song too.
Yeah, that's the true. Actually, it's funny because I can't even pick a favorite song. Blue Bomber is like the one that was.
We can get into it later, but we have so many new ones too.
Yeah, we have a lot of new ones. We've always been cooking.
Yeah, there could be new favorites, but I mean, I remember like it was yesterday. I mean, we met in France.
In France.
We were trying to find. We were looking for something we were looking for a shop that had like macaroons or something, right?
Yes.
The most generic thing ever. Because I wanted to get them for my XXX. And so that's how we met.
We met in France playing the show, and we ended up hanging out. We ended up going to that crazy festival thing the day after our show.
Yeah, we had a show. Yeah, I'm leaving out a lot of details. It was our first time in France, both of us.
Yeah.
And they had us out for a show with Dr. P played, right?
Yes.
And Charlie Snatcha, I think.
Damn, man, I didn't even remember that.
And X-Core.
Yes. Holy shit, I forgot about that.
Are we talking, and what year was this, if I may ask?
10 years ago, probably.
2015, probably, yeah.
This one?
That's it? No.
No, that was Erg.
Okay, sorry.
No, that's close.
It was called Drops of Sweat.
Drops of Sweat.
Yes.
And it was this underground, I remember it was underground. Remember, it was you're in the middle of the city in Paris, and you go downstairs if you're going to a subway station or something, and then it's Drops of Sweat Paris, bro.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we met there, and then you ended up coming out to LA. I don't know if you were already out in LA or shortly after, but then it was you moved 15 minutes away, and then we just started hanging out, and then
we walked around Paris everywhere, and then we went and saw some other show. So, it was that show on the docks.
Yeah, it was
I don't remember anyone who played.
Zomboy.
Okay.
Zomboy was and Dirty Phonics.
I honestly don't. Actually, I do remember Dirty Phonics playing.
I remember someone else played.
I'm not even trying to
no
disrespect Zomboy. I just don't remember who played.
No, so I remember you were talking to another artist, and Zomboy was playing on one of it was in those hangars at the docks.
Yeah,
and
I ended up playing that with Spag 4 years later.
Damn.
That same festival.
Lucky.
It was crazy. It was like the same exact thing too, because they have like the two stages that are like facing away from each other.
Yep.
And you're like, it's like it doesn't make sense like a sound level because it's like you're in the dubstep stage and you just like lift the curtain and walk like 10 feet.
Yeah.
It's like the techno stage, and, like, but it works.
That shit was a blast, though.
They defeated Soundbleed somehow. The
Yeah.
French figured out a way to counteract Soundbleed that Americans have not figured out yet.
Yeah, their technology is just like, yeah.
And it's just a giant curtain. That's the technology.
And that was 2015. They mastered that 10 years ago, and we're still trying to figure it out.
They just need to. Well, they need to start bringing out giant curtains at festivals.
Yeah.
Between stages and festivals.
I've heard worse
It's the only
Soundbleed at
way.
Coachella. You know what I mean?
And that was Coachella. And that was such a big deal nowadays. But I'm not trying to throw any shit on Coachella. Like, no, like what? They won't like no put people like you on the lineup. But it's possible. We have Slander, who has been like an Icon Collective student for you guys.
My classmate.
A classmate for you guys, and we had a few other artists as well put on there. I think Alice in Wonderland was also on Coachella, so maybe the tide is turning. Maybe next year Coachella we might see Dubloadz, we might see Dack Janiels. Hey,
I don't know about that one, buddy. Doubles would be lucky if he gets booked at the gas station next year.
I'll be playing at the liquor store next door.
Yeah,
that could be a really good pop up.
Denny's.
That would
We
be
could do Denny's.
We should do a Denny's pop up. That'd be sick.
I'm about to say a gas station, a bodega. That could have been the perfect pop up.
Bodega would be great as long as we get chopped cheeses. Chopped cheese rhythm show.
Damn.
That it writes itself. It definitely writes itself. And of course, New York is one of those birthing places for the chopped cheese sandwich. I mean, I've been there before. I've loved it. I tried it out. It was pretty incredible. But although I have to ask though, would it be where it all began, or do we go to the guy who gives us the bev? Never forget it. Never, never, never.
Sure,
Yeah,
that guy.
that guy.
Yeah.
That could also be a pretty good place for. If just talk to them, maybe it could possibly work. But it's just been amazing, like so you guys reminisce on France and that type of thing. I didn't want to say a word because I didn't want to ruin the moment.
Rambling.
Yeah,
and mostly me.
That's okay. That's okay. I did not want to ruin the moment, but I really had to act as well. Regarding you guys collaborating and of course doing back together. I have to wonder what is the secret when it comes to you guys making music together and playing one the other when you're on the sets, because we've seen a lot of back-to-backs. I think perfect example I can think right off the bat, Talk This Summer 2018 when you guys were there together, and so many others out there that were back-to-back. So how do you guys have that symbiotic relationship when you're on the stage together in front of those CDJs?
I think it's just because we're friends, honestly.
Yeah, honestly.
Well, I mean, it's because we both play good music. I mean, if we didn't like each other's sets, it would be like, oh man, we got a tag now. But Tanner's sets are sick as fuck.
And yours.
I'm not even just saying that. Just the other week we played in Florida, and I literally was on the balcony watching your entire set.
I know.
Literally your entire set. And I never. Usually I'm in the green room but Tanner was rhythming it so hard, dude.
Well, and every time you played, I've always been front and center. Sometimes I'll even send it to the crowd during when Dave plays, especially if it's been when we were both in LA.
Tonight, dude?
I'm gonna get in the pit.
Dude, I'm losing my voice, so I gotta do some screams tonight.
Damn.
Dude, I gotta show you what I made today.
But I will say, for in terms of the symbiotic back-to-back and collab thing, I think Dave saying we're friends, that makes things 10 times easier. Dave and I don't think we've ever been let's practice the back-to-back.
No, never. We've never done anything like that.
And we've tagged so many times.
I remember at one point you had one of those CDJ things in the studio or whatever, and I think we ran through. Maybe it was it was when we were gonna do the truck at EDC.
Yes.
What do they call those things?
The art car.
Art car.
Yeah.
Jesus.
But I think we just dicked around and ended up drinking beers for 3 hours.
Yeah, probably. We plugged in and then we had beers and then we ended up watching Garfield reruns.
Donkey videos and Garfield reruns. Yeah. But yeah, it's just, it all comes down to just being homies. I think that's the best thing. I think that sometimes we've all been there where you've been tasked to do a back-to-back and it maybe feels forced, even though it doesn't need to feel forced. And
they're all forced.
Yeah.
How many people would rather do a back-to-back than have a solo set at a good show?
That's what I'm saying.
No one.
But if they gave me the option to go back-to-back with you at any show, so it's yeah.
I feel a back-to-back, the whole point of a back-to-back is if it's we're going to do a back-to-back tonight, because we can. but it's not going to be the whole. It's not like we're getting billed for a back-to-back.
Yeah.
I feel like you get billed for like a big festival. It's like hell yeah, and it's like oh, but you're going back-to-back with this person, or you're not playing, and then you're like
a truly special one. I think is like Funtcase Cookie because it was
that was like a dynamic duo.
Dynamic duo
Right.
for sure, and that one was one that like felt natural. You go to the sets, everything was there, and then sometimes you see it back-to-back, and it's like. Neither one of y'all motherfuckers wants to be playing with each other right now.
Understood. And of course, I wish I could have been there to witness that dynamic duo, Funtcase and Cookie Monsta. Seriously, rest in peace to him, you legend out there.
Rest in peace, Tony.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
love you. I fucking love Tony.
I really wish I was there, really witnessed it. But I'm glad I at least saw Funtcase live for the first time, in 2019 on the Excision Apex tour. That was pretty incredible. He was the first one that actually showed me, well, not just him, but also you guys do as well when I saw you guys perform, is that you can still, do your thing, do the technicalities of your set, but still have a good time, really show the energy, and really express that, because I'm not one to really see people just, do their thing. Yeah, they are moving, but not really feeling the music.
No, it's energetic.
Exactly, and I think Funtcase is one of those people that...
James is crazy, and I feel like I haven't been a camera for him. James, Tony. Is that normal?
No, you're good. No, we knew him.
Yeah, I just don't mind.
Yeah.
I'm just awkward as fuck. But yeah, no,
It's fine.
Funtcase is crazy live. I feel like he was like my inspiration for.
Same.
I think he knows that he was.
For live presence.
Yeah, in general, I think he was a lot of people's.
If you're not going harder on stage, then people in the crowd, it's like you can't expect anyone in the crowd to be vibing too.
He was, but
exactly.
What's bizarre is he was. I mean, I feel like pretty much everyone does. Like for the most part, most DJs now are doing that. But like, back in the day, you would go see like a circus show and like Dr. Funtcase would play and you'd be like, and then you'd be like, fuck yeah, and then Dr. P would go on and literally just like he would stand there and not move like one single time. No disrespect to Dr. P, but it would be so abrasive. I remember being in the crowd and being like, no, wave your fucking hands.
Understood. I mean, I hate to witness and see Dr. P perform live, and I hear Flying Spaghetti Monster, for example, and he's just standing there and does absolutely nothing. It's like,
he needs to become the
it's one of his magnum opuses. I remember I was listening to Dr.
P. You gotta become the Flying Spaghetti.
That song, and of course the Tetris song. That also throws
my
me back
favorite
as well.
Champagne Bop of all time.
Oh, it's a banger.
That's like one of my top. Dude, yo. That's like one of my favorite songs of all time.
That's a good
And so he gets a pass off of his discography gives him the pass. It's like, dude, do whatever you want, but he needs to just start throwing out some hardcore moves on stage.
Understood.
I just want to see everybody who's never moved just go ape shit on stage just for one show.
Yeah.
Make them punch.
And
then we should see Funtcase play a show where he just stands there. For
That would be sick.
Well, I mean, I guess I've never seen a Haze set, but I imagine maybe a Haze set.
A Haze set is just him.
Just standing there.
It, just kind of not doing anything. Not even playing, just pre-made set.
Please don't give Funtcase any ideas if he ever sees this. But again,
he'll be the last person on Earth to ever play the pre-planned set.
Straight up.
Understood, yes. But now I have to ask this question too, because again, Dubloadz is here. I didn't have this ready. I didn't have this ready in advance, but I have to ask one question as well. Of course, the name Dubloadz, but there was a moment, and maybe that's still going on, where you transitioned from Dubloadz to HouseLoadz. What made you switch your sound a bit and try that out?
I just wanted to. HouseLoadz wasn't supposed to be some big ordeal. I just wanted to do something different. Well, I figured out what I was going to do with Dubloadz because I got sick of doing Dubloadz for a little bit. But
understood.
HouseLoadz is just part of Dubloadz, really. I would love to play more HouseLoadz sets. I could barely get Dubloadz bookings right now. Never mind HouseLoadz bookings. But I mean, in the grand scheme of my brain, it would be cool to I would love to play a HouseLoadz set one day at a festival and then a Dubloadz set the next day. I mean, that was supposed to be the ideal situation, but we got some work to do before I could even think about getting back up to getting offers where I'm playing 2 shows at one festival. I mean, it'd be cool to do a HouseLoadz set and then a Dubloadz set at my own show, but yeah, we're not there yet.
Understood. I'm still.
Unfortunately, you'd think by now we would be, but we're not.
That is okay. That's okay. Take your time. I'm just waiting for the day where I finally hear Turn Up the Bay being played live. I will go absolutely insane over
I
that.
never played that live.
You never did?
Even when I played my HouseLoadz sets, I didn't. That wasn't in the sets.
Oh.
Yeah, that's one of those songs that I'm always like. I feel like there's a whole list of Dubloadz songs that I'm like, these are really good songs that no one cared about, and that's one of them. It's like I really liked that one, but like, it's probably one of my least played songs. Period.
Wow.
Of all time, like bottom 10, like of released Dubloadz songs.
That's okay, but hey, just know there is one person out there who
I appreciate that. I'm glad someone cares about Turn Up the Bay.
Because that was
the one fan of the song.
that was like the one song that really blew me away. It's like, again, Super Hot was amazing as well. The EP was really great, but Turn Up the Bay really stuck out to me when it got to like that mid breakdown of like, going to the left to the right. I said to myself, I could easily make choreography out of this and make something out of it.
How is that? I remember that is funny because you bring this up. Like I thought that was gonna be like a hit, and like no one cared. I don't understand. I don't really understand the world. I guess like you said, the turn left to the right thing. I was like, oh, this is like a niche house song that everyone's gonna play. No one heard it.
I see almost like a line dance because you see
to the left,
to the right.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what? I think by now someone else has probably done that, or it's probably been done a million times before I did it too. I don't know.
Right.
Everything's been done.
It's kind of been done because again you have those songs where the crowd control things where you see the crowd moving from the left to the right, the type of thing. It's kind of been done. Dude. That is insane. I don't think we have a secret compartment, but yep, you have your coffee, you have that type of thing. Yeah, this is it. I'm kind of surprised, but again, of course, like I talked about the sound, from Dubloadz to HouseLoadz. For Dack Janiels, the evolution of what you've been building up has been absolutely freaking incredible. I started off in 2014 with your very first ever EP, the Warlord EP, and then hearing how it forms from beginning to now to the Depression dub, I think is what it's called.
Yeah.
It's absolutely insane to witness, and again, I kind of do miss that 2015 sound because it was just nostalgic to me. That was what kind of got me really into Dack Janiels, what got me into dubstep. Listen to Zonboy, listen to Cookie Monsta, listen to Funtcase. It kind of really brought that stuff within me. I'm just wondering, I gotta ask, could there be a possibility where we'll maybe bring some of that old sound back into the sets, or maybe not? We're just gonna move on the journey of Dack Janiels.
I feel like it's funny because the other day I was talking to one of my homies who sent me a song that was like a bro steppy type song, and it was really sick, and I was like, oh, thank you. I was like, damn, honestly, the bro step sound, when done correctly, can be such a hit, and I fell victim to that because I just liked bro step, and I was like, damn, this sounds sick. My song Trees, I didn't ever say that, that
yep,
one, I would classify that as bro step, whatever. But to answer your question, I feel like a lot of the old stuff that I made was when I was learning. Warlord was I didn't even know. I would just I'd come up with a sound and I'd be like, damn, I'm gonna use this as the lead. And nowadays, things are a little bit more methodical. But yeah, I think that there could be some balance struck between old school sound and modernized technique at this point. Yeah.
Understood. But will we at the very least hear the 40-ounce bounce?
I gotta do a new VIP of it.
A new VIP of that. I'm sorry. I
you like to hear it? Boo!
Haven't you done 3 VIPs of Fight Music now?
Boo! Yeah, that's why.
How many, 4?
I gotta keep it alive.
That's what I'm saying.
There's 4.
I need to do a third 40-ounce bounce VIP. That needs to happen.
That would be amazing to hear, but
you should do a 40-ounce mouse, and it's a mouse squeaking.
40-ounce mouse, dude. There we go.
That could probably. Oh, actually, that's. Dude. You just took me back to the old school Adult Swim days. That show 12-ounce mouse.
Oh, yeah,
that it all makes sense. Write that down, Dack. Write that down.
I don't even know what that is.
Oh wow. Okay.
You know, if you saw a picture of the 12-ounce mouse, you'd be like, oh, that thing. It's like a green mouse. It's drawn really poorly. It was a show on Adult Swim.
Yeah.
Squidbillies era.
Venture Brothers.
I know those ones. I didn't. Yeah.
Guess you just suck.
Well, but again, I was so young. I was seeing Adult Swim when I was 8, 9 years old. I was like, okay, I can turn the TV off right now. But I still I was tempted. I tried to see a little bit of what was given, and again, I was just seeing what I was not supposed to be seeing. but I'm older now. I'm old enough. I can reminisce. We just move on. But I'm curious to know now, for both of you guys, what could be next for Dack Janiels? What could be next for Dubloadz? You can start. Anyone can start.
No, you go first.
No, you go first.
But you go first. I said death. I went first.
Oh, okay.
No, you go first.
I don't know, man. Try to keep my head on, and
every single person's
try to not drink as much hard alcohol and not party as much. But
we're literally getting drinks right after this.
I know, literally. No, what I'm saying, I've drastically cut down like liquor use when I'm at home, and yeah, I feel like I just want to keep doing this shit, man, and keep making music, and I feel really stoked on the music I've been making right now, and I have so much new shit coming out this year, so yeah, just do that, and just continue at least playing with, getting to call it my job and get to play with one of my best friends in the world. That's what I want to keep doing.
Understood. And are there any artists that you're listening to that has been really sticking out to you? Like, if you could, bring any of these artists to the 40-ounce cult label, who would you want to bring or work with?
There's a lot of people that I like that are upcoming and stuff, and a lot of people I've been very thankful that I've already been able to get released with us. But Azadi is one of my favorite producers. I think that he deserves way more shine. Other than that, man,
Azadi's got a Moody Good collab. That's all I know.
He does have a Moody Good collab.
That's crazy.
Fuck Azadi, actually. He's already getting that shit. I don't even. No, I'm just kidding.
You gotta plug him, dude. He's got a Moody Good collab.
Is Moody
Don't
Good?
plug him. He doesn't need your
Is
help.
Moody Good really that big?
I think so.
Well, I mean, he's more of a legend.
He made Hot Plate.
He made he made everything. He made fucking In the Death Car.
Wait, he's 16-bit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, okay, yeah.
I'm gonna work with him. Moody Good, we're gonna work together. You're probably not watching this, but we're gonna work together. I'll just DM him.
Hey, make sure you do that, man. Again, Moody Good, love you, man. And again, Dack Janiels, can hardly wait. And again, Azadi, another amazing legend. I feel like you guys can definitely make some matches together. Azadi is definitely one of those people you should definitely look up in here. He's absolutely freaking killing it. And so many others out there I've been seeing in the rhythm terror community.
What about Swan, dude?
Swan? You mean Swando?
Swan. No, just Swan.
Swan.
S-W-A-H-N. Swan. What? I don't think it says it on here.
No, it's just...
That's just poor merchandising.
Yeah, you got the name right there.
It's got his little logo.
His little logo there. Okay, we'll make sure it's zoom in. But
Swan,
again,
bitch!
the shirt does say distort everything, so keep that in mind.
That's he says that. That's his thing. He says. It's his little slogan. Hey, distort everything, and then he winks at the camera.
Okay, I'll remember the name, Distort Everything. I'll make sure to look it up too. Maybe I'll not buy that merch, but I'll see what else he's got. But speaking of which, make sure you also cop the 40-ounce cult merch. Make sure I don't even have any Dubloadz merch, do you?
That's very soon.
Very soon. Well, make sure you cop the Dubloadz merch. The house
store is about to drop.
I can hardly freaking wait. And again,
wait, when is this interview coming out? It might already be out.
It might be coming out very soon. Maybe I'll wait until the merch drops so that way we're on timing with that.
Then I would have to say that the merch already dropped.
It already dropped. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? If this comes out after the merch drops. So
okay.
You can edit it together. You can splice it all together and make it look like it was natural.
Definitely.
The merch is out now.
It's out now. Get it right now. Yes. Thank you again so much, Dubloadz. Thanks so much, Dack Janiels. I can hardly see you guys live for the very first time.
You're
again, this
soul.
has been 7 years in the making, 6-7 years in the waiting to see you guys live, and I can hardly freaking wait for 10:30 to strike and see you guys absolutely tear up the Meadows venue. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. This is Level Jr. Dubloadz Dack signing out. Love you guys so much. Peace.